Hey, this is Mill Creek Homestead. Today we're continuing on in these wood stove series here. So we're talking about tools and uses of tools. So some of the other videos earlier on, check those out. Starting fire, the tools, different kinds. We just kind of talked about them. Then I'm going to go through and do videos on how we're using them. There's a lot of new people, burning wood. Gas prices are getting up, I hear. So we figured we'd show what we do here on the homestead to keep the house warm, and just a few tricks. A lot of people know how to do stuff. I get it, but sometimes you learn a trick or two, and it really makes life a little easier. So we're going to use a few tools today. Going to use the stainless steel shovel. We got a metal bucket, so we're going to talk about metal buckets today, and we're also going to talk about why we're using this. So looks like I need to adjust that touch. There we go. Try to stay in this camera shot. So as you can see, I'm just ready to build another fire. This is burnt down some, and it needs more wood in it. But once you get so high, you can't have those coals up against the steel, So what's it on, right? Well, there's fire brick inside, and fire brick keeps it from breaking down the metal. If your coals got too high, for one, it just come out the door too. But if it got on the sides or the back of it, of your wood stove, it gets too high out of the fire brick and the hot coals are up against that metal, it eventually melt her down. So we don't want that. So I could just reach in with my shovel, scoop out my coals, my ashes, but I got coals in there. These coals are something I don't want to throw out, and it's going to be really hot for my bucket. But why am I throwing out hot coals, right? So I don't want to do that. So kind of what I do, I'll come around and look for places they don't have no, like that's just ash, no problem. Try to go light too when you're doing this, because of the dust that gets in your house or basement or garage, wherever you got your wood stove. So what I do is just kind of take the ashes out as much as I can without taking coals with it, hot coals. And you're always going to have some. But my goal here is to use this sifter. I'm going to put a glove on. I guess that's the other tool. We talked about tools in that earlier video. You can catch at some of the tools you might want to get. But you can take these coals and ashes and kind of, there you go. So now you got I don't know how much you can see in the daylight here, but so I'll take them and lay them off to the side. Take them ashes, drop them down, throw them over. Got some more. So we'll kind of do that because there's a lot of hot coals in here and I don't want them to go to waste. So we'll sift them out. So here there ain't too many. So we'll just get in and we'll scoop some. There's a lot of little ones, but not too big ones. Go slow with that. If we think there's too many, we can scrape a few off here and there. That way when you get in there and you don't scoop all your hot coals out, you'll be a happier person. So let's see what we got left here. So I took them and I'm gonna scrape them off. She's still got a lot of heat in her, I'll tell you that. Woo. So I'll put the glove on this hand, and I'm using the hand without the glove, but so that'll help that out. So as you can see, there's a few hot coals getting in the bucket. And we need to get this bucket out here as soon as we can. So I like to leave a little bit of coals in my stove because it helps insulate the coals, and it allows it, if you say it burns out during the night, it'll keep that from getting all them coals burning out. Like, insulates it and holds that heat. Right now I'm starting to sweat, so we got a good coal base left in the stove, and that was kind of what we're shooting for. So I got about a third of a bucket filled up. So all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna scrape it away from the door just a touch. I kind of like mine heaped up a little bit. You want that air to get around that wood. So, got a little wood here. Kind of like to do some, we did the burning log cabin style way to start a fire. This is kind of going to be that way, but it's going to be a little different. We're going to put it on one side, blocks on this side, and it's going to be up in the air. I also got another piece I made that's inside the stove. I welded a T up. Looks like that. And that helps get it up, a little airflow underneath there to get it started. It's inside there right now, but it's so hot I can't really reach in. So all we're going to do here is get the poker we talked about. So if I can get it up on that block a little bit, see, you got the airflow. I'm going to get some more wood in there. This one's a little bit short, but we don't care. It's still getting good airflow. And I'll just throw another chunk on top for now. So, in a short amount of time, it's going to be raring up and burning. So that's what we need to do, is keep being self-reliant on ourselves here. Not really relying on this crazy world that's, I don't know what it's going to do, but it's definitely getting a little more wilder and more expensive. That's the big thing for me. It's just the expense. It's we need to take care of our family here and keep us warm, and show everybody we can how to do things, how to learn, push these skills. You need to definitely start pushing your skills, growing your food in multiple ways. There's every way you can think of, in fruit, vegetable, meat, all the ways you need to become a little less reliant on things and cutting them costs. There's nothing wrong with cutting your costs a little bit, and spend on your money on stuff you want to do. So I hear it starting to crack back there. It won't be long, we'll be having a fire. So we'll do another series on this wood stove. We'll be cooking on here for long. That's always fun. Eating a little breakfast and maybe supper. I don't know. We got a few things to do on that. We'll use a frying pan. We might use a pot. I got a oven I made for this years ago, and maybe we'll bake a pie or some bread or something in it. So this is all we got here. This is Nuck Creek Homestead. Keep them fires burning. Out.